Here's a word of welcome and some information about Sears, the world's largest general store. Have you ever given much thought to what it takes to become the largest in the world? Sears was started in 1886 when Richard Sears, the 23-year-old station master of North Redwood, Minnesota, started selling watches. He moved to Chicago and hired a watchmaker named Alva Roebuck. And now, 3/4 of a century later, you can still buy a watch at Sears. But you can also buy just about anything else under the sun. Mink coats and pots and pans, swimming pools and drug products, a tank of gas or fishing tackle, a TV set or a Christmas tree, furniture, footballs, freezers, fire extinguishers, farm equipment, fencing, floor covering, phonograph records, or female finery. Everything in that big familiar Sears catalog that's as much a part of the American scene as ham and eggs can be purchased from you over the telephone. Sears has 11 catalog order plants, more than 1,100 catalog sales offices, and more than 800 retail stores in the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Central and South America. There are over 70 large central warehouses and more than 50 major service and repair shops. More than 250,000 people work for Sears. There are close to 10,000 service people who work to keep Sears' great reputation for quality and service on top where it belongs. Sears' annual sales are measured in the billions of dollars, making it the largest merchandiser in the world. But believe it or not, Sears is just getting started. And since there's no limit to the future growth of Sears, there is similarly no limit to your own growth potential with Sears. You see, Sears believes in the policy of promotion from within. Most of Sears' management people work their way up through the ranks. And with this policy, you have the opportunity to progress within the company on the basis of your own individual ability, merit, and effort. How far you will go depends strictly upon you and upon how well you handle the work that's given you to do. The wages Sears pays are as high or higher than those prevailing for comparable work, but the amount of money you will earn at Sears is determined just as much by the nature and quality of your work as by the number of years you've been in your job. Your work performance will be observed from your first day and will be reviewed with you periodically by your manager. Pay increases based on your productivity will be considered at regular intervals. When you're advanced to a more responsible job, you're eligible to receive a pay increase in keeping with your new activity. As I said, how far you go and how much money you'll earn with Sears is strictly up to you. Of course, there are many more benefits than just good wages when you work for Sears. There's the 10% employee discount on your purchases, paid absences from work, and, depending upon your length of service and the hours you work, holiday and vacation pay, life insurance, hospitalization, surgical and illness benefits, and, after a year with the company, Sears' famous profit-sharing plan to help guarantee your future financial security. Then there are the Sears people you'll meet and with whom you'll associate. You can learn and improve yourself just by watching them and by asking your supervisor when anything puzzles you. You'll learn of all these things and Sears' rules and regulations in the handbooks and from your manager. But let me remind you of a few reasons why Sears is the world's largest merchandiser and what will be expected of you as a telephone salesperson. Sears is the biggest and the best for a very simple reason. It brings the best products available in the world to the most people at the best possible prices and then gives the best service after the sale. To tell people about these products and services so they'll telephone you and be receptive to your suggestions when you phone them, Sears spends millions of dollars in advertising. That's the story so far. But all of it hangs in the balance when you speak to a customer at the other end of your line. This is the moment of truth. That person can be kept as a friend and loyal customer, or if she isn't treated properly, if she's offended in any way, it can mean a customer lost. Please understand this. The most important person in the world to Sears and to you as a Sears employee is the customer. When you talk with another person over the phone, regardless of that person's age, attitude, or manner of speech, she automatically becomes the most important person in the world and will be treated as such until you've finished your conversation. If you find this rubs you the wrong way, stop right here. This is Sears' philosophy of doing business. One of Sears' founders put it this way: treat the people fairly and honestly and generously, and their response will be fair and honest and generous. It's simply the golden rule, treating others the way you yourself want to be treated when you speak with someone over the telephone. Only at Sears, we really do it, and you'll be expected to do it too. You'll find working at Sears an enjoyable experience, and to make it even more enjoyable, memorize these few points. 1. Put a smile in your voice and keep it there every time you place a call or take an incoming call. Turn up the corners of your voice by turning up the corners of your mouth. Smile. You'll find your work all the more enjoyable when you do. 2. Show courtesy, unfailing courtesy, and use your best telephone manners with every customer on every call. 3. Know your merchandise. Use every spare moment to learn your merchandise and where to find it in the catalogs. Oh, and one more thing. Don't let Sears' size fool you. Every person working for Sears is recognized and valued as a person. The people now managing Sears started right where you're starting, by applying for a job. Then, while they were working, they gave everything they had to give. If you'll do the same, your future with Sears is bright indeed. Now, if you'll turn this recording over, let's talk some more about you, your job, and what you can expect as a Sears salesperson.